Okay, let's move forward to chapter 5, which is the wage study, wage agreement, and wage determination. So, Article 120 is the creation of National Wage and Productivity Commission. It is created to manage and oversee matters that are related to wage and productivity in the Philippines. It works closely with the DOLE to ensure that wage policy and productivity programs are well coordinated and aligned with national goals. For example, a factory worker named Maria who worked in, let's say, in Manila. The cost of living there has gone up because of rising food and housing prices. To help to help ensure fair pay for workers like Maria, the National Wage and Productivity Commission review and provide guidelines for setting the minimum wage in Manila. Next is the Article 121. The power and function of the commission. Number 1 is advisory role. When the government want to or plan to adjust national minimum wage, the commission gives recommendations that are based on the data and the trends. Second is the policy creation. So the commission create rules and guidelines to improve wage, income, productivity of companies or industry and the country itself. Third is setting wage rules. So the commission might develop rules to ensure that wage are fair in high cost urban area and rural region. Review regional wage. The commission review the wage level set by regional boards to ensure that they match with national guidelines and development plan. If a regional board set wage too low or too high, the commission can recommended adjustment for it. Next is conduct research and share data. So the commission study the factors that can affect the wage and productivity. For example, how inflation rate can affect the purchasing power of worker. Next is evaluate regional plan. The commission check whether the plans and programs of regional wage boards align with the national development plan. Next is the supervised regional board. So the commission oversee the commission oversee the work of regional board to ensure that they follow the national rules. Next is hold tripartite conference. The commission hold a conference time to time to discuss and resolve wage and productivity issue. And lastly is the general power to implement the act. Of course, the commission has the authority or the power to do whatever is needed to carry out the responsibility under the law. So let's move forward to Article 122, which is the creation of Regional Tripartite Wage and Productivity Board, which is composed with DOLE, Department of Labor and Employment, DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, and NEDA, the National Economic Development Authority. So it is established in all regions to handle wage and productivity issue locally. They work under the guidelines, of course, with the National Wage and Productivity Commission. But this group focus on the region specifically. First is develop regional plan. Each regional board create programs and projects to improve wage, income, and productivity in their area. For example, a board in an agricultural region may introduce incentive for productivity in farming and set fair wage for farm workers. Next is they set regional minimum wage. So they decide and set the minimum wage rate for workers in their region, province, or specific industry, following the guidelines of National Wage and Productivity Commission, of course. For example, a regional board may set a higher minimum wage in city with high cost of living compared to nearby rural areas. Next is they conduct research. Of course, they study and collect data on wage, income, productivity, and cost of living to guide decision and policy. Then share this information to the public. Next is they coordinate with other regional board. Of course, regional board works together when needed to ensure consistency in wage policy and program across the region. Okay, handle wage exemption. They process and decide an application from business who are seeking exemption from paying the prescribed minimum wage. For example, a small business applying for exemption due to financial difficulty. So they might submit a request to the board, which the board will evaluate and approve or deny it. Next is they perform another necessary task. So they carry out any other duties needed to fulfill their responsibility under the law. For example of this, they may provide training session for employers and workers on wage law and productivity technique. Let's move forward to Article 123, which is the wage order. So a wage order is a rule issued by a regional tripartite wage and productivity board to adjust the minimum wage in region when necessary. Next is the Article 124, standard criteria for minimum wage fixing. Number 1 is demand for living. Of course, the wage must be enough to cover basic living expenses for the workers, like food, shelter, and healthcare. For example, if the cost of food or housing increase, the minimum wage should also adjust it to help workers meet their rising needs. Second is wage adjustment versus consumer price index. So the wage should be adjusted according to the change in consumer price index. For example, if the inflation makes everyday item more expensive, then automatically the wage should be also increased to help worker maintain their purchasing power. Third is the cost of living and changes. The board needs to consider how much it costs to live in the region, and any change or increase in the cost of living. For example, if rent and transportation costs rise significantly, of course, automatically the wage must need to raise to accommodate those changes. Fourth is needs of workers and their family. Wage should be enough to support workers and their family. If a worker is supporting children or elderly family members, the wage should be enough to provide for their dependent needs. Next is improvement in standard of living. The wage should support improving workers' quality of life and providing opportunity for better living condition. So example, a fair wage allow worker to live in a better housing, can access education, and enjoy better health. Next is prevailing wage level. So the board should consider the current wage level in the region or similar industry to maintain consistency and fairness. For example, if most company in the region pay a certain wage, the new minimum wage should not be drastically lower or higher unless necessary. Next is fair return on capital and employment ability to pay. So the board must consider whether employers can afford to pay the new wage without hurting their business. Of course, for example, if a small business is struggling financially, the board may decide on wage increase that is more manageable for employers. Next is impact on employment and family income. So the board needs to think about how wage increase affect employment opportunity and the income of families. For example, a large wage increase might lead to some businesses reducing their workforce due to the increasing wage that they cannot afford it, because there are some business that cannot they struggle financially. So the board must balance the wage increase with the potential job loss. Last is equitable distribution of income and wealth. So wage should help create a fair distribution of wealth and reduce income inequality. Example, a wage increase in a lower income sectors may help reduce the gap between the rich and the poor in society.